Hey everyone, it's Agnach here. Welcome to another video. In today's video I will be showing legend attacks with the Super Acha. But before that, I would like to thank everyone that has subbed to the channel. We have made it past the halfway mark of my initial goal of 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me, so thanks for clicking that button. Now to the actual video. So we recently received this new super troop, the Super Acha. I was originally honestly underwhelmed, as I thought it was too expensive at 12 housing space for what it was doing, but decided to give her a go in Legend League. I ended up using her with two different armies, one with a Yeti bat, and I just replaced the boulders for the archers, and the other army I had 2 golems, 2 ice golems, and 15 super archers with the bat spells just to help for the back end. In the CC, I had 2 Yetis, a Valk, a Bob with a Rage spell and a Wall Breaker. I used this same CC for both armies. With these armies, I must say that even if I didn't get the 3 stars, I was always getting a very high 2% 2-star. So let's have a look at the attacks. Okay, so first here I come against Best Bet Chu from Le Basson Doré. So I'm using that initial one with the 15 super archers. As you can see, I put the golems, yes, golems, the super archers at the back. Then I sent the wall breaker from the back all the way towards the town hall. That's something that I usually do. With these super archers as well, you can have a look at that compartment at 9 o'clock on the western side and have a look at the super archer range. The good thing about her is that she can reach buildings that the Archer Queen would not be able to reach far inside. It gets a greater range. I think her range can be about 5 tiles. However, with the actual arrow, it can go past 10 tiles. So that's a really good thing about the Super Archer, and which is why I started bringing her with the Yeti Bobat without the boulders, so Yeti Archer Bat. On this one though, I decided to do the mass archers, and it worked very nicely. Obviously with the bats for the back end, just to clean up the rest of the buildings. I had 2 freezes left, so I just kept those for the back end. Here I've got 1 more for the final Wiz Tower. Maybe I should have used the second last freeze a little bit later, but it ended up working in the end. We still had plenty of bats. There were still a few archers left, and yeah, this was the first 3-star. So now the other attacks that I'm going to be showing you are the ones with the Yeti and super archers. So as you can see, I bring 6 super archers with the Yetis, and so I always start with a wooden walk just to create one side of the funnel. Now whenever I bring a wall breaker as well, I always do what a lot of people say is a risky approach, coming in from the opposite side of the town hall. So I would definitely not suggest doing this during a CWL or any of those hit formats where you only have 1 go, and then if you don't get to the town hall you get a 1-star. Probably don't do it. But on Legend Leagues you can test it and see if you like it or not. So here goes the wrecker all the way in. It's going to open the center compartment, which is what I want. And now as you can see, the town hall there, the Archer Queen would not be able to reach it from the central compartment. However, the super archers can. So as long as we can manage to get the super archers inside, they're going to be able to reach the town hall. I send my bats just from the other side with my RC, as my army keeps going into the center and going towards the town hall. Now the Yetis as well managed to break that wall, so everything is going to be able to go inside into the town hall. Yeah, Archer Queen now, she's going to be able to reach it from here. I still have her ability, so she manages to hit the town hall. That freeze was swagged, but I didn't need it anymore with my bats, so that went down. And yeah, this was a nice 3-star. Now it's just clean up. So as you can see with this army, what I usually do is I put the warden on one side to create a bit of a funnel. Then I send the king on the other side, and then I send the Yetis into the center. On this one, however, with the CC up top, I decided to full send from the north. So I just put the poison for all the heroes and the CC, and then I just started putting all of my army in. My heroes, my Yetis, the healers, the loons. Use the warden ability and get the town hall down. As you can see in this base, most of the really heavy heat defenses are up there. So you have the tank hole, you have the 2 scatters, you've got 2 expos. So if you can get rid of that nice and early, then the rest of the base is very walkable. And with the range of the super arches, you can reach almost every building here. Now I send my bats from the east just to help with the cleanup as well. The good thing about this base as well is it's got that little corridor in the middle of the base, which, as I said, it helps the archers reach a lot of the buildings in there. I just have to use the freezes properly so that my bats split up, so I didn't want to use them on the Wiz Tower, so I just wanted to wait for that final freeze there on the southwest Wizard Tower just to help the Archer Queen get through there. Now the Eagle is still standing, so that's a very important building that we want to get rid of, but I still have my Queen with the ability. There's still a few Yetis, and we still have some super archers up north that are trying to break some walls and going to the south. Now I must say, through them hitting walls, that they're not very good, but the good thing about them is that they don't have to hit the wall, they can just go through the wall. And as I said, the range, once they hit a building, and it goes for like 10 tiles from where they're standing. So we've got that super archer hitting the Eagle goes down, and now the super archer goes for the Goldbind. And it also even reaches that dark barracks that was outside, so you can see the range. I did have someone asking me, well, what's the difference between them and having boulders, and it's definitely just the range of the shot from the archers. If you can manage to keep them safe, so by having the King or the Yetis tanking for them, they can shoot very quickly and they can get the buildings down very quickly. So here we've got the Warden creating one side of the funnel, as I said, and on the other side I put a Yeti and the King with a Party Wizard as well, just to create the other side of the funnel. And then just send the Yetis, my Queen, the Wall Breaker. I've got also a couple of Headhunters on this army just to get rid of some of the heroes that are on the outside. And send my super archers from the back. Once I see the Wall Breaker is getting hit, I use my Warden ability just to make sure that the Breaker gets all the way to the tank hole. Use my second rage on the tank hole so that it goes down. I usually send my Royal Champ to the first Wizard Tower so that I don't have to waste one of my freezes onto it. And then I just bring my bats, and we still have 3 free spells, so I use one for that Northern Wizard Tower. That other Wizard Tower was having a little spasm, but that's alright. We just freeze it, and that way it gets out of its misery, and it goes down. And we still have one more freeze for this final Wizard Tower, even though it was being stalled by the Yetis. I just didn't want it having a light bulb moment and turning around and hitting my bats. So as you can see, this one was very nicely done, and now all the defenses are down and we just have to clean up. If you still have a lot of bats left, they're very good for cleanup, except for the big storages, but every other building they get through it so quickly that it's a very nice cleanup troop. So on this one I put the Warden to the south just to create that bit of a funnel. Then I put the King, a Yeti and a Party Wizard on the other side. As you can see, I don't have wall breakers, so I just wait for them to go through the wall. Then I send my Yetis, the Wall Breaker, the Queen, and then in behind we put the Super Archers. As I said, if you have something tanking for them, they're very strong, they're very quick, and they've got a really nice range. Use the Warden ability. Once I saw the Wrecker was getting hit, gets all the way to the center, and we still have one rage and the bat spells, so I'll use the rage with my troops in the center on the town hall for the town hall to go down. Once I know that it's going down, I send my bats with my Royal Champion. see all the super archers doing their business there in the center of the base. That multi-inferno was killing some of my bats, but that's alright. There's no more splash damage left, so they can just fly through the rest of the base. We still have a few super archers left, just trimming some of the defenses on the outside. You can see that also, even though their HP is not really that big, they do take a few shots before they die, which is really nice. I think their HP is very similar to that of the bowler. So now we've got this one again, Richard cards, and let's see what I do. I think I put the warden at 6 o'clock, maybe? No, there we go. So I put him at 4 again to create that bit of a funnel. Troll Tesla pops up, so I just use one of my loons there. Since I'm using the warden on one side, we use the king and the party wizard on the other one. On this one, I'm not using a Yeti to help him out. And then the king can get rid of that triple ice golem, which is in the CC. Now I send my wall breaker in to go all the way in with my Yetis and the super archers at the back. Put my first rage in, they all go in. Use the warden ability, that's gonna be tanking their scatter shots and also gonna be tanking that single inferno. So then I send my bats so that they get rid of that single inferno. That single inferno did end up killing my warden, but that's alright. Use the freeze on the whiz tower. The wrecker gets all the way to the center. Use the rage for the troops in the middle just to get rid of that town hall. The town hall goes down. Now the bats are just flying around. I still had 2 freezes left, so I decided to use one of my freezes on the Tesla because there was only one wizard tower left and it was being tanked. Use the RC ability, and now I don't even need that final freeze, but I still froze that Tesla just to get rid of it and clean up this base nice and quick. We're going against Mega Dragon, and this is a very common base, so I just put my warden at 3 o'clock just to start getting start doing the funnel. And look at the super archer there at north. I just put her there just to create that northern part of the funnel, and you can see how the arrow is actually hitting all 3 containers and damaging them. It's really good. The container for the dark elixir has more HP than the other 2, which is why they go down first before the dark elixir. Now the warden continues getting rid of the buildings there to the east. The super archer has done her job. I send the wall breaker into the town hall, put one Yeti with the king. The reason why I put that Yeti with the king was to tank that single inferno, and then all the Yeti mats are going to be tanking it as well. Then I can use the king ability for him to run away from that single inferno as the whole army is walking in. The wall breaker dies, but everything else walked in to the base. Use the final rage there in the center of the base, and the queen can go into the tank hall and get rid of it. I start sending my bats from 1 o'clock, freeze that scatter shot. My RC is tanking the wizard tower to the south, and now it was tanking the scatter shot, so all my bats are now on top of the scatter shot, get rid of it. The multi-inferno goes down, and now as you can see on this base, there's only 2 splash damage left, which is the 2 wizard towers. And they're all well, the first one was being tagged. Probably I could have saved that freeze for the southern wizard tower. In the end I didn't, so all these bats are gonna die, but that's okay. We still have plenty of troops left. The RC is gonna be getting rid of this wizard tower, and then there's only 1 mortar, and then it's just clean up. And when I was doing this attack, it was with the party wizard, so they were pretty quick with cleanup, so there were no time fails, which is very nice. There we go. So this one is the last one against Safari, so the same thing. Start the warden walk on one side to create a bit of a funnel. Start the king with the Yeti on the other side to create the other side of the funnel. I always look where the tank hole is and where the splash damage is, since that's what's gonna kill my bats. So as you can see on this side, that's where most of the wizard towers. There's the scatter shot. There was the only multi-inferno as well, which is why I decided to come on this side with the wrecker. Now, as I said before, I also, whenever I use the wrecker, I prefer coming from the opposite side of the town hall, because I believe that way you get the most use out of the wrecker, going through quite a few layers. One of the things that you can do with the CC as well, if you've got in your clan people that have the super wall breaker, you can also put on the wrecker 2 Yetis and a super wall breaker, and that way whenever your wrecker dies, the next layer can be opened by that super wall breaker, so that way you get that extra layer. So that's something to consider as well. The scatter shot here is being tanked, so the bats can fly in. There's that wizard tower. I think I was a little bit too late, but we've got so many bats that it doesn't matter. That second freeze was swagged. I could have used it on the town hall, but I used my third freeze on the town hall. It goes down. Now I've got the RC and the queen on the town hall. RC goes down to the single. Now the single is attacking the warden. The queen is going to be distracted with these skellies. But finally goes to the wall that I want her to go, and so I use her ability so that she goes a little bit faster and gets to the single inferno. Once the single inferno was down, it was done. Once again, we've got our party wizards cleaning up, and we still have some of the super archers there helping us clean up as well. Well, hopefully you enjoyed these replays. Overall, the super archer is a lot stronger than what I first thought, and it can be a really good super troop. I've seen it take over Tank Hall 11 and Tank Hall 12, so if you are on one of those Tank Hall levels, definitely give her a use. I've seen some crazy attacks with her, and this is, I think, due to her range. Like her range is so big that there's a lot of compartments that cannot be reached by anything except the super archer, unless obviously if you wall break in. But she doesn't need to be wall breaking, which is, I think, her advantage. Finally, once again, thanks to all my subscribers. Hopefully we get to our goal of 1,000 soon, and I'll be organizing a nice giveaway then. And you know, if you enjoyed the video, click the like button, and I'll see you next time with more Clash content. See ya.